The Nigeria-UK air route has witnessed a dramatic shift in pricing strategies sparked by the entry of Nigerian carrier Airpeace. The CEO of Airpeace, Allen Onyema, has raised concerns over what he perceives as a concerted effort by foreign airlines to undercut his company's competitive position through aggressive price reductions. The situation has reignited discussions on the dynamics of price wars, competition, and the role of government support in the aviation industry. Well, joining me for more on this is the General Secretary of Aviation Roundtable, Olumide Ohunayo. Thank you so much for joining me, Mr. Ohunayo.
Thank you for having me and calling me out on the holidays.
Thank you, too. All right, vindictive, conspiracy, competition, price war. I feel where one stands will ultimately determine how one sees this. What do you see?
Well, this all you have mentioned are real, and it's not unexpected. It's a normal thing in business. Everybody wants to stay in business to make profit. They want to sustain exploitation and then dominance. It's a normal business strategy. Nigerian Airlines have been away on that route for about 7 to 8 years. The last time was with Medview Airlines of Nigeria. That was the last airline that went there. Since then, it's been total dominance by the British carriers.
Yeah, I like you to talk to us about how that happened. How did we get there? What happened, really? Maybe we need to, circle back and go back to all of that.
Maybe we go historical. In the beginning, it was Nigerian Airways that was there representing Nigeria on the route. And then another airline comes from England, and that was British Airways. Along the line, during the early part of President Obasanjo, that bilateral service agreement was not changed to a dual designation, having remembering that each country will have 2 airlines. And then the British brought in British Airways and Virgin Atlantic. And immediately they brought those 2, we have not been able to use that reciprocity clause in the bilateral service agreement to put 2 airlines there. So after that agreement, I think the first airline that used this was I think Bellevue had used it. Then Virgin Nigeria came on and used it. Air came on and used it. And the last time Nigerian airline was Medview Airlines before Airpeace just joined. So since the demise of Medview and withdrawal from that route, there has not been any Nigerian airline. So the British carriers, European carriers, and some African carriers like Egypt Air, Maroc, Rwandan Air, Ethiopian Airlines, and the Middle East Airlines of Qatar and Emirates have been feasting on that route and carrying majority of Nigerian passengers while we had no player. We are supposed to be there, and Airpeace just started. They have only taken 5 of the 21 slots that we have available to operate into London and Manchester. So there's still more spaces for them to expand.
All right, but the big deal for me really is what informed the previous pricing. Going back to the pricing issue, which Onyema talked about, where these international airlines were charging between 5 million and 70 million for economy and business class, respectively. I remember how we talked about, Nigerians having to fly to neighboring countries. When they get there, then from there they proceed to, these other countries. So looking at all of this, my concern is, doesn't this probably speak to arbitrary pricing before now? What culminated into that sort of amount that Nigerians used to pay for this?
Well, for airfares, all fares are deregulated. The days of regulation are gone. All the airline needs to do is to file those fares with the regulatory authority, which is the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, and they all do that. They are at liberty to fix the fares. And you also know that out of these fares, they pay taxes. But on the European routes, yes, there's been an exploitation. What has happened was that the 2 airlines, both Virgin Atlantic and BA, were totally benchmarking each other on fares and using that to find out which minimum base should they use. And that was the exploitation we're having, coupled with the withdrawal of Emirates Airline. Emirates an airline that don't carry people to Dubai, but carries people to points beyond Dubai. So because the carry people points beyond Dubai, that stoppage by Emirates also reduced capacity on that were available for Nigerians to travel, and that also helped in increasing the fare. Now, if Emirates, as promised, will be returning in July to join Airpeace on the international route with the seats they will provide, you can be sure that the fares will also go down a bit. We have more supply now.
Well, looking at that, so are you trying to say that, maybe Airpeace is crying foul, that this is just, forces of demand and supply, just just general and normal competition we see in market?
Well, they are not. They are not crying foul. It's normal tactics and power play that you expect from bullies and those who feel they are on ground and they need to show their dominance. And this was expected to happen. It happened to Virgin Nigeria on the Lagos Dubai route. Emirates did the same thing. Virgin Nigeria had to run away after about opportunity for about a year. So, but in this case now, I would expect government to see where they can come in to support airpeace. I don't want to say Allen Onyema, but look at how they can support airpeace, because we're talking about the airline now. Because it's the airline we have given the designation, we have given the power, we have given the flag to represent Nigeria. So it needs the necessary support. And I think this support can come in. We can start looking at taxes that we can waive during this period, during this student period. Incidentally, they have also gone to lease witness aircraft so they could meet up with some of the schedules they have. So that shows that they're not taking that property. They're probably going to share with the lessor who gave them the aircraft. So there's a need for government to look at some areas they can come in through taxes and charges, and also probably help and see if they can get the tax on aviation fuel that will be supplied to them will come as a lesser fee, and also see that if some of the charges that are supposed to be paid at the international wing, if they can pay it in naira. These are the ways you can support your own. They are built to other airlines in their home country, and also, like what happened when on that first flight, there's the grandfather rights. The Nigerian airlines should have a finger. A part of the terminal that will be dedicated to Nigerian airline. They are the home carriers, so they cannot be pushed aside and on their home soil. It is when you treat your carriers here that they also be treated when it gets where they are going to.
All right. I know you talked about the markets being deregulated, but I'm forced to ask if there is no such thing as consumer protection. I understand the whole gimmicks. I mean, it's competition and all of that. But how did it happen for so long without being checked that Nigerians had to pay so much? I mean, nothing has materially changed. Not so much has changed. All we have is airpeace coming on board, and Naira hasn't appreciated so much that we're seeing so much difference. So, I mean, shouldn't we begin to talk about fair pricing? Or it's deregulated, but then shouldn't we look at how these prices are arrived at the end of the day?
Perpetua, did I get right?
Yeah, sure, you did.
Sure. Yeah, Perpetua, in the bilateral service agreement, you have 21 slots. British Airways is using 14, 7 into Lagos and 7 into Abuja. Virgin Atlantic is using the remaining 7 into Lagos. I have 21. I did not use any of my 21. Would that tell you how you're going to fix your price?
But, and that's what I'm saying. I totally understand that, but I'm also looking at consumer protection. When you look at the pricing from top to bottom, isn't it like ripping off your citizens?
Did you notice now that even without any prompting from any regulator, the price went down because there was competition? You had 21 slots. You did not make use of it. You don't make any effort to encourage any of the airlines to go until now when one has gotten up. So now they've only used 5. If they now use the remaining 16 slots, you can imagine what will happen to the price. So and that's why bilateral services always have that reciprocal security clause. You must use your own. You must find a way to use it, or ask or partner with somebody to use it. That's only when you have more supply, you be able to determine price. You're able to bring price down. What happened before that? There was so much demand compared to the number of seats that were available. So the foreign airlines, that's the British Airways and Virgin Atlantic, were asking that they should be given extra slots outside the 21 if they want price to go down. And Nigeria said no, those slots belong to our carrier. So you cannot have your cake and eat it.
All right. Well, just before we close, I'd like to get back to the rate cuts by I don't want to use the word rate. Let's say fair cut, by foreign airlines. While this is good for the consumers and all of that, do you think it poses any risk to indigenous airlines who probably also want to compete?
Well, the indigenous airlines should be prepared to compete. I'm also looking for a second airline, and that will join Airpeace. It's something about Airpeace alone. Because look at Airpeace. By the time the chairman told us, he said, we'll be starting up with 700 to 800 naira. We are barely 2 weeks away now. It has gone to about 1.2 to 1.3. That's about 2 weeks, just 2 weeks into the operation. It has gone to about 1.2 to 1.3. So we still need a second airline because there are 2 airlines that are supposed to be on that route. We need a second airline that will take the part of the remaining 16 slots and use it. And once these airlines operate, consumers will smile. Nigerians' pains will lessen.
Well, thank you.
So, and when they fly, you are generating more income for the country. You are generating more employment. There will be little more. The number of the volume of funds that will be remitted by foreign airlines will be reduced. This money will be retained in, and that also increase the power of the naira. So we must work towards our own operating, and we must support our own. Not only support, you must also protect. Because the moment they leave here, they are flying the Nigerian flag and they deserve our protection for the Minister of Justice, from the Minister of Aviation, from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and from the Nigerian Aviation Authority. Whatever is done to them there that is unfair, which should be reciprocated here to their own airlines. Simple and period.
But I like how you talk about, using laws, the instruments of the law and all of that to address issues such as this. Thank you so much, Olumide Ohunayo, General Secretary, Aviation Roundtable. Thank you for your time on the show today.
Thank you for having me.